there. I'm Bilchan.
I'm Nimikung.
I'm Banchan.
In this class, I'll read to all of you. Chapter 3, Section 4 of the picture of Dorian Gray.
As.
Ah.
The picture of Dorian Gray. Oscar Wilde. Chapter 3, Section 4. He played with the idea and grew woeful. Tossed it into the air and transformed it. Let it escape and recaptured it. Made it iridescent with fancy and winged it with paradox. The praise of folly. As he went on, soared into a philosophy, and philosophy herself became young, and catching the mad music of pleasure. One might fancy her wine-stained robe and wreath of ivy danced like a backshant over the hills of life. I mocked the slow silence for being sober. Facts fled before her like frightened first things. Her white feet trod the huge press at which wise Omar sits, till the seething grape juice rose round her bare limbs in waves of purple bubbles, or coiled in red foam over the vat's black, tobing, sloping sides. It was an extraordinary improvisation. He felt that the eyes of Dorian Gray were fixed on him, and the consciousness that amongst his audience there was one whose temperament he wished to fascinate him, to give his wickedness and to lend colour to his imagination. He was brilliant, fantastic, irresponsible. He charmed his listeners out of themselves, and they followed his pipe, laughing. Dorian Gray never took his gaze off him, but sat like one under a spell, smiles chasing each other over his lips and wonder growing grave in his beckoning eyes. At last, liveried in the costume of the age, reality entered the room in the shape of a servant to tell the Duchess that her courage was waiting. She wrung her hands in mock despair. How annoying, she cried. I must go. I have to call for my husband at the club, to take him to some absurd meeting at Willis's rooms, where he is going to be in the chair. If I am late, he is sure to be furious, and I couldn't have a scene in this bonnet. It is far too fragile. A harsh word would ruin it. No, I must go. Dear Agatha, goodbye. Lord Henry, you are quite delightful and dreadfully demoralizing. I am sure I don't know what to say about your views. You must come and dine with us some night. Tuesday. For you I would throw over anybody. Duchess, said Lord Henry with a bow. Ah, that is very nice. And very wrong of you, she cried. So mind you come. And she swept out of the room, followed by Lady Agatha and the other ladies. When Lord Henry had sat down again, Erskine moved round, and taking a chair close to him, placed his hand upon his arm. You tuck books away, he said. I am too fond of reading books to care to write them. Erskine, I should like to write a novel, certainly. A novel that would be as lovely as a Persian carpet and as unreal. But there is no literary public in England for anything except newspapers, primers, and encyclopedias. I fear you are right, answered Mr. Erskine. I myself used to have literary ambitions, but I gave them up long ago. And now, my dear young friend, if you will allow me to call you so, I quite forget what I said, smiled Lord Henry. Very bad indeed. In fact, I consider you extremely dangerous. And if anything happens to our good Duchess, we shall all look on you as being primarily responsible. But I should like to talk to you about life. The generation into which I was born was tedious. Someday, when you are tired of London, I shall be charmed. A visit to Treadley would be a great privilege. It has a perfect toast. You will complete it, and said the old gentleman with a courteous bow. And now I must bid good to your excellent aunt. I am due at the Athenaeum. All of you. Reste. 40 of us. In 40 armchairs. Poor Henry laughed and rose. I am going to the park, he cried, as he was passing out of the door. Dorian Gray touched him on the arm. Let me come with you, he murmured. But I thought you had promised Basil Hallward to go and see him, said Lord Henry. I would sooner come with you. Yes. I feel I must come with you. Do let me. And you will promise to talk to me all the time. Ah. I have talked quite enough for today, said Lord Henry, smiling. All I want now is to look at life. You may come and look at it with me. To be continued.